All right, another crazy one here in the Superdome, guys. We appreciate Drew Brees joining us. It seems like every time we talk, each one of these games is different in terms of tempo. How would you describe this one?
Well, it was a fast start. We scored on our first three possessions, and then a little bit of a lull there, late second quarter, and then into the third. And turnovers. Which obviously you hate to have those in any game in any situation, but especially when you're backed up and you give them points going into halftime, which is not what we want, and that was unfortunate with kind of the tip ball, but. The other two fumbles when we're about to score. When you have scoring opportunities, man, you got to make the most of those.
Losing Larry Warford in this game, how did that affect the game plan, the running game, and everything moving forward?
Well, listen, of course we miss Larry. He's one of the mainstays of that O-line, but I think it's a testament to guys like Josh Larivas to step in, Senio, who's stepped in and played a bunch this year as well. Just those guys' ability to just, man, plug and play, and those guys do a great job of, staying prepared for whatever might happen, whether that's got to play guard, play tackle, you name it. We've got jumbo packages with different linemen coming in at tight end positions too, and all kinds of stuff, so those guys are always ready to roll.
You guys were such big favorites in this game. I know you don't want to pay attention to things like that, but you have a young football team. Do you have to keep them focused maybe during the week that you don't overlook a team like the Jets leading up to this game at all?
Of course not, and I don't feel like we did. Listen, that's a team that's been highly competitive this year and has won against some good opponents, and has played really well. And defensively, as we're focused on that during the week, man, that defensive line was disruptive. I think Adams, obviously the LSU boy, has been a big impact player for him this year. So, listen, all the way around, I thought that defense was playing really, really well. And they did it again today. Listen, they caused 3 turnovers, so shame on us. That's something we got to clean up.
Michael Thomas could have easily had 3 touchdowns in this game, and you really leaned on him down the stretch. Talk about his game and how big he's becoming more and more in this offense every week.
Yeah, it's what I love about him is that he just continues to grow and continues to evolve. He's the type of guy that wants to have more and more responsibility, and where maybe that route was kind of designated for another guy or a certain type of guy. All of a sudden it's like, well, hey, I think Mike could do that. Let's give it a try. And he's so focused, attention to detail, and just wanting to do everything to the letter. That throughout the week, man, it's a pleasure, as you sit there and kind of start talking game plan and, hey, this is what we're seeing and this is the way I see this route, and he's like, all right, how many yards and what's my split? And everything is very, very detailed, very diligent, and I love his approach.
Only 2 other tandems in terms of running backs in NFL history are putting up the kind of numbers that Kamara and Ingram are putting up. You lose Kamara early against Atlanta, but when you have those guys going full throttle, how does this offense change? The dynamics, and how does that help you? How does that really change this offense when they're rolling like that?
Well, they're both playmakers, and whether they're out there one at a time or together, they're both kind of matchup problems, and they can do a lot of things. We can do a lot of things as an offense with them because they're such smart players. They're such versatile players too. So having the combination of the 2 of them, that 1-2 punch, both in the run game and the pass game, really, gives us a lot of flexibility.
Final question, 2 games left in this season. You have 10 wins under your belt. You were frustrated losing that game in Atlanta. They come to your place. How big a game is this going to be on so many levels on Christmas Eve coming up now?
They're all big, but of course this one's huge. It's the next game. It's a time in the season where you want to keep things rolling, and it's a divisional opponent who we just faced recently. There's a lot of familiarity there, and obviously it's a very meaningful game.
Appreciate your time. See you next week. There's Drew Brees here in the Superdome. Back to you guys in the studio.